That was so good. Thank you for being so honest and for being here. And also, this is not the most important thing about you, but I do love your overalls.
Thank you.
Next up, we have our friend. Sorry, give me a second. Oh, Dan like Ann. Literally in the notes it says Dan like Ann. I'm sorry, what else would Dan rhyme with? Okay. Oh, and Lau slant rhymes with owl. Thank you, Kevin. Am I saying it right? Dan Lau?
Dan Lau.
Okay, Dan Lau. He, they. And when asked what is the purpose of cruelty in art, Dan said that is a big question and I can't provide RN right now. Which I appreciate, because that is a big question, and also he already gave us the SZG frat joke that I butchered earlier, so what more do you want from him? Friends, let's give it up for Dan! Woo!
Hi, new friends. Hey. It's a big fucking question, right? Ooh, sorry. It's a hot mic. That's good. It's just like right here. You don't want me to eat it, because I'm loud. I'm a loud bitch. Framing around the questions of cruelty, I was just like, oh shit, there's a theme. And then I had to figure out which poems I was gonna read. But I feel like I found them, you know? So this is called Reader as Fugue, and feel free to like Savion Glover me on the way off the stage, because I talk a lot, I read, I take my time, so I'm respectful too, so just, Dan, get the fuck off. This one is called Reader as Fugue. Only through forcing can we understand sound. Moving through constriction, can we attempt to study the fluid. Air, the loose collection, molecules folding over each other like sand or gumballs, running past the thin membrane grass provides. The repurposing is a music like the way children play. In fall leaves, their lines fashioning an aria, a symphony in C, how they cleave through a field to the foot of a maple, just to rip the wings from the Samara clean off, to peel apart what's present and find in their hands a new thing, to see the process as creative, the infinite restructuring, the method of finding and refinding the violence of a thud peeled into a machine. And so they smack the shell of a decaying log in order to find a drum, knowing to make something beautiful, you must cleave it or beat it into shape. So this is from, I was just like, it's so loud. Yeah, I was talking to Muriel, I was like, what the fuck am I gonna choose? And she was just like, your MFA manuscript, because it was horrible. Like the MFA, it was like, I was in Boise, Idaho, and it was rough. And so, with great pain, right? This one's called Etude. Today I slip into my father's shirt. This red, this second skin, such a fit against my shoulders, such wear between the seams. I gather myself to greet him. In the mirror, my face draped over his stubble creeping through the sheet laid over my bones, like a tent or the bony figure chairs make during renovation. I'm under construction. The painter's tape has been laid across the edges of my wainscoting, my molding growing gilt by the day as the trees throw confetti on my birthday morning. I stand silent in front of him as he appraises me in the same way he says, I love you, in the same way he says, you're wrong. I'm a short and sweet type of girl. So the next 3 poems, and I promise there will only be 3, are based in my new collection, and I was thinking about cruelty, like the concept of cruelty, and understanding that like it doesn't necessarily need to be intentional. It doesn't necessarily need to be completely aware of how we are experiencing things. And so with that little framework, I started thinking about how my current project is fitting within that particular schema. And it's about, it follows my grandfather through his passage and immigration through Hawaii. And he worked in the plantations, in the pineapple plantations, and then found his way into the States, the continent, right, as they say. And so thinking about your participation in this particular economy and how we behave and what we do to move forward while setting other folks back. And the process and project is also trying to comprehend how we move forward, because we're all here now, right? So with that in mind, you know, pineapples, grandfather, I have the next 3, they're untitled. So when I do this, that means it's over. Okay. This morning we drive past a field of spines, bristling from crimson clay, the earth so red like an open wound, a bleeding boar's hairbrush, sequestered from the road by a guardrail. The north side lidded by a stretch of sky, violet rays clap through the crowns, bracts, and fruiting bodies to warm the ground. The suckers sprouting off the axles, a garden of serrated blades. Perhaps blood is what has made an iron-rich loam. Perhaps sweat and the spray of other salts have amended the soil. Or maybe it is the memory of care and the presence of men that coax these heavy buds, their hands tilling and shaping an industry standard. How do we reconcile the spoils of these little worlds? The long arm of the god foliar spray, the god of the automatic harvester, microcosms of orbiting life around an impermanent sun, a simulacra of thriving, turgid biomes of fruiting bodies embalmed in syrup, spoils, thousands of semi-rotting enclosures, the bodhisattva of the sorting conveyor lifts each reluctant pledge. The saint of the extractor shows each promise a mercy. The belt, the mixing tank, the fiber unfold unto themselves, rendered and ripped, broken and decanted, an empire of evaporators, an empire of sterilization, an empire of neutered flesh, an empire despined, a single rancid yellow. I open my mouth and I kiss this soil, the only land I know, the only land I'm tied to. Here, a body can move through it like water, like silk, so long as a skein goes in the right direction. Today, I can kiss a man in public and never ask for his name. Tomorrow, I can build a dream of thorns and fold my body like a napkin for you. These freedoms, dispensations that season my movement, remnants of the access they'd bought at a raffle you were never invited to. A purchase, an exchange, a promise I imagine you made to yourself, and a promise you've made to us when you worked their land and studied their language and fought their wars and smoked each day, that today and every day after, we choose how this nation will devour us. Thank you.